Hello, fellow gamers. It's your boy Zero Inc. And today I'm going to talk about a topic that has nothing to do with Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo and the console wars and everything else like that. Today's topic is going to be the ranking and point system I think should be abolished. And actually, to be honest, to some extent, I think KTD. We should be able to see our KTD, but that should be secondary to wins and losses. And I think we should start adopting a more wins and losses, more tournament-style ranking system. And the reason being is you're seeing a lot of people claiming to be really, really good. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, everyone thinks they're the best of the best. But you can't tell that just by KTD. If someone has a KTD of 20 but has lost 300 times and only won 50, obviously there's an issue somewhere in there. Yeah, you're going to have a giant KTD if you allow your team to rush in and do all the heavy lifting and then come in and mop up. You're always going to have a better KTD if you stay on the outskirts rather than actually putting yourself in the battle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm noticing this, like even in games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Have adopted the ranking system. In games like Madden have adopted the ranking system. And I believe the ranking system and point system should come second to wins and losses, to different skill type things. Like perfect example, Destiny, right? A lot of people I know, first person guys that I know, didn't like the Destiny multiplayer. And the reason they didn't like it is because you actually have to count on the team that you have. So you have to actually help out. Like if they're not capturing the points, you have to go capture those points. You see what I'm saying? Like if you have a KTD of 20 but you have 0 captures, to me that's not all that great. You're not doing any of the objectives, none of them. You're probably sitting off in a corner somewhere. You're not putting yourself in the battle. Yet you have all these guys that think they're just king shit. Another perfect example is like Warframe. I love Warframe, but their dueling system, their PvP, is just horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I don't see why more games don't do tournaments in-game. Like, you know, I take that from like MOBAs and from MMOs and from different RPGs where you have a tournament in the game to prove how good you are or to show off your skill. Why don't they do more of that? Have PvP. You know, like, perfect example, one of the PvPs I used to love was Perfect World. Had a great PvP. I'm talking 30 versus 30. Everybody on the screen going and clashing. You know what I'm saying? You just don't see that. You should be able to go into a guild and see everybody's skill set. I mean, the guilds nowadays are like friends lists. That's it. You know, it's like having a guild doesn't even make any sense to me. It's like, why be part of a guild if your guild will never reach the top spot? Because the top spot is based on how many people are in your guild. Always. In every game. It has nothing to do whether your guild is actually skilled or not. It just seems to me that players nowadays don't know how to lose. When I was getting my ass kicked in sports games, when I was getting my ass kicked in fighting games, when I was getting my ass kicked in shooters, my friends would let me have it, you know, and it would inspire me to get better at the game. Nowadays, there's no inspiration to get better. The ranking system and the point system that we have now is just basically, if you play long enough, you will reach that 99999. And these are horrible practices. Like, I think, you know, I mean, gaming has always been competitive. Always been competitive. And people who say that it's not are crazy. They have nothing for people who actually want to do competitive play besides like tournaments that you got to pay for and you got to go to different states and everything else like that. I just feel that they would benefit from putting tournaments in game and allowing a prestige system for guilds that makes it so if your guild is doing well, then you get praise. I want to be known by my gamer tag. It's like, what's the point of a gamer tag if there's no prestige that comes with that gamer tag? You know what I'm saying? And even if I'm like a loser, like if I completely suck at a game, I'd rather be known as the suckiest player than lie to myself and say that I'm as good as everybody else there is. You know, I realize everyone has adopted this point system and ranking system, but I don't believe that everyone deserves a trophy. Nowadays, you get a trophy just for playing the game, and I don't believe that's fair to the people who really put time and energy and effort into it. You know, this is for them. Like me, honestly, I'll probably never be on a top list of anything. I enjoy the games, and I'm decent at them, but I'm just, you know, I mean, I'll probably never be on top lists of anything. I think my best Destiny game was 7.0 KTD with 12 captures or something like that. So, it's stuff like that, dude, that you know, I've just been thinking about lately. I just don't think gamers know how to lose anymore. You know, they're not humble enough to lose anymore. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the point system, the ranking system over the win-loss record? Do you guys like the ranking system as it is now? Or do you prefer, like, a more skill-based ranking system where you actually have to try? Let me know in the comments. Rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next Kickshaw Angle.